Hello learners, today we will be exploring the different types of walls in building construction, primarily focusing on the load bearing walls, cavity walls and partition walls. We will discuss the following points. Number 1, walls, load bearing walls. The different types of load bearing walls, their design considerations, the latter support, the National Building Code specifications. Under cavity walls, we will see the advantages of cavity walls, the construction details, insulation, maintenance. Under partition walls, we will see the requirements of the partition walls, the types of partition walls and finally, the summary. Walls. Let us begin by discussing the significance of walls in a building. Walls are a fundamental component of buildings serving to enhance and divide the spaces to enhance the functionality and usability. They provide privacy, security and protection against the various environmental elements like heat, cold, sun and rain. Additionally, walls support floors and roofs, necessitating the design considerations for adequate strength, stability, weather resistance, durability, fire resistance, thermal insulation and sound insulation. The different definitions and the classification. A wall is defined as a vertical load bearing structure with a width exceeding 4 times its thickness. In contrast to a column in an isolated load bearing structure with a width not exceeding the 4 times its thickness. So, the walls can be broadly classified into 2 types. Number 1 is load bearing wall, number 2 the non load bearing wall. Under load bearing walls, these are constructed to support the additional loads that is coming from the roof and other elements along with their own weight. In contrast to the non load bearing walls, this where it supports only their own weight and typically function as partition walls. In framed structures, the external non load bearing walls are often referred to as panel walls. These categories can be further subdivided into external or enclosing walls and the internal or partition walls. The load bearing walls. The load bearing walls are integral structural components which are designed to support the weight of a building, including the floors and roofs in addition to their own weight. These walls transfer the load to the foundation, ensuring the stability and integrity of the structure. Primary materials include bricks, stones, concrete blocks and other masonry units. The types of load bearing walls. Number 1, solid masonry wall, cavity walls, facet walls and veneered walls. The types of load bearing walls. Number 1, the solid masonry wall. It is constructed using individual units such as bricks, clay, concrete blocks or stones that are typically laid in horizontal courses with mortar. The construction materials, it is made using individual units such as bricks, clay blocks, concrete blocks or stone. Their assembly, these units are typically laid in horizontal courses. Next is the bonding. These units are held together using mortar. This mortar binds them and provides the structural stability. Next is the function. The solid masonry walls support loads directly and resist the compression, bending and shear forces. Second type is the cavity walls. These cavity walls comprise 2 leaves separated by a cavity and are tied together with metal ties or bonding units. They are often filled with some insulation and waterproofing material. The structure of cavity wall, they are composed of two separate layers, or also called as the leaves of masonry, with a gap or cavity in between them. The leaves, these are the outer leaf and inner leaf. It is constructed separately, but work together to provide the structural support. Next is the bonding. To bond, the metal ties or bonding units are used to connect the two leaves, ensuring structural integrity. Next is the insulation. The cavity that is there in between, this is often filled with insulating materials in order to enhance the thermal performance and also waterproofing elements. The functions of cavity wall, they provide better insulation against the heat, sound and moisture, and also help in reducing the load on the structural elements. The facade walls, the features different materials for facing and backing. It is bonded to act together under load. So far as the construction is concerned, features a different material for facing and backing. For facing, the exterior layer, that is the facing, is typically made of a decorative or protective material like a stone, brick or tiles. The backing, which is the internal layer, is usually constructed with materials that provide structural support. Next, bonding. The facing and backing are bonded together to work in union under load. Functions. The facade wall combine aesthetic appeal with structural functionality, providing both, that is the visual enhancement as well as load bearing capability. The next is the veneered walls. They have a facing attached to the backing without a common bond to act together under the load. As far as the construction is concerned, they have a facing material attached to the backing without a common bond that unifies them. So far as facing is concerned, the external veneer is often made of high quality or decorative materials like marble, granite or bricks. Backing material are typically made of different, mostly often have less decorative materials, maybe concrete or masonry. So far as the bonding is concerned, facing is not structurally bonded with the backing, but is instead applied as a separate layer. Then the function. The veneered walls provide an attractive appearance while relying on the backing for structural support, though the facing does not contribute to the load bearing capacity. Now, the design considerations. First is the load distribution and strength. The structural efficiency is achieved when loads are uniformly distributed with minimum eccentricity. Now, the strength of a load bearing wall is its resistance to the stresses that arise from the weight, superimposed loads and lateral pressure. Now, next point is uniformity and eccentricity. Openings in walls should be designed to ensure uniform loading. Lintels and bed blocks that is provided under the beams must have generous bearings and sections of the load bearing members should vary with loadings. The masonry and mortar quality. The strength of masonry wall depends on the quality of masonry units and mortar, as well as the workmanship and bonding methods. Mortar strength should not exceed that of masonry unit, so as to prevent the cracking. Wall thickness. The wall thickness must be sufficient to keep the stresses within the prescribed limits under the worst conditions and the combinations of the loading. The design calculations should use the actual masonry thickness. Now, the next is the slenderness ratio. The slenderness ratio by definition is determined by the effective height or length to the thickness. This influences the wall strength under vertical loads. The effective height and the length depends on lateral support that is provided to the wall. Lateral support. Number one point in this is adequate lateral support. The lateral support limits the slenderness and prevents the buckling, providing a good amount of stability against the horizontal forces. It is provided vertically by floors or the roof, and horizontally it is provided by the cross walls, piers or buttresses. So far as spacing and effectiveness of the support is concerned, the load bearing capacity of a wall basically depends on the spacing and the effectiveness of the lateral supports. Horizontal supports like floor or roof slab, it must extend at least 10 centimeter onto the wall. Now, the National Building Code specification, which is in short called as the NBC. The National Building Code of India, it specifies that when the concrete slabs do not bear on a wall as required, that we just discussed about, non-corrodable metal anchorages must be provided at an intervals not exceeding 2 meter. So, this should be provided at a interval of less than 2 meter. Now, for timber floors and roofs, non-corrodable metal anchors should be securely fastened to the joist with intervals as mentioned of not more than 2 meter for buildings up to 2 stories, and that gets further reduced, that is 1.25 meter for other stories. Cavity walls. If we look into the cavity walls, they are a type of wall construction consisting of two parallel walls, that is the two walls which are also called as the leaves, and there is a gap in between. So, with a gap or cavity between them. These walls are common in buildings for their superior thermal insulation, sound insulation and protection against the moisture ingress. There are a lot of advantages of using the cavity wall. As just discussed, number one is the thermal insulation. The cavity which is developed there, it acts as a barrier of heat transfer. So, it makes the building more energy efficient. So, in all the buildings where the energy efficiency are of prime consideration, cavity walls should be thought of. Number 2 is the barrier to heat transfer. The cavity within the wall acts as an insulating barrier, significantly reducing the heat transfer between the interior and exterior of the building. Next is the energy efficiency. By using the cavity wall, improved thermal insulation contributes to better energy efficiency, reducing the heating and the cooling cost. Sound insulation. The cavity walls offer better sound insulation as the cavity disrupts the sound waves. So, the disruption of sound waves, it occurs because of the air gap in the cavity. So, this air gap in the cavity disrupts the and dampens the sound waves, enhancing the wall's ability to reduce the noise transmission between rooms or from outside. Next is the enhanced privacy. This cavity wall provides better soundproofing, which is beneficial in noisy environments or for maintaining privacy within the building. The moisture protection. The cavity helps in preventing the moisture from penetrating the inner wall leaf and protecting the interior spaces from dampness. So, it prevents the moisture penetration. The cavity helps in preventing the rainwater or even the other sources of moisture from reaching the inner wall leaf, thus protecting the interior spaces from dampness and potential damage. Next is discussed is the durability. The cavity walls helps in maintaining the longevity of the buildings by mitigating the issues related to the moisture ingress. The construction details. First is the components. Outer leaf, typically constructed from the durable materials like bricks or stones for weather resistance and aesthetic appeal. The inner leaf are usually made of blocks or bricks providing structural support and thermal insulation. Next is the cavity. Generally the cavity is of 50 to 100 mm wide and the space between the two leaves may be filled with insulation materials to enhance the thermal performance. The ties and anchors. As far as the metal ties or bonding units are used to connect the two leaves at regular intervals, this ensures that they act together structurally while maintaining the cavity gap. So, the materials used are metal ties. The metal ties or bonding units are placed at regular intervals to connect the outer and inner leaves, ensuring they function together structurally. Next is the structural integrity. These ties maintain the cavity gap while providing necessary structural support to the wall assembly. Waterproofing. Cavity walls often incorporate damp proof courses and cavity trays to direct any moisture that enters the cavity out of the wall structure. So, damp proof courses integrated at the base of the wall to prevent the rising dampness from affecting the structure. The cavity trays. The cavity trays are installed above the openings and at intervals to channel any moisture that enters the cavity out of the wall structure, preventing water accumulation and the possible damage. Insulation. There are different types of insulations. We will look the insulation types one by one. Number 1, mineral wool. The mineral wools provide excellent thermal and sound insulation. They are resistant to fire and moisture both. Next material is the foam boards. The foam boards offer high thermal resistance and are easy to handle and install also. The expanded polystyrene beads. These are lightweight and effective for thermal insulation. However, care must be taken to ensure they are properly installed to prevent the gaps. Installation. It is very important to have number 1, gap free installation. The insulation should be installed without gaps to prevent the thermal bridging, where the heat bypasses the insulation and reduces the overall efficiency. Next is the water resistant properties. The insulation materials should be water resistance in order to prevent the issues related to any kind of dampness and degradation. Very important is the maintenance. Under this inspection, regular inspections are necessary to ensure the cavity remains free from obstructions and that ties are in good condition. So, how to do it? Number 1 is regular checks. It is necessary to conduct the periodic inspections to ensure that the cavity remains unobstructed and that metal ties are intact and functional. Second method is the identify issues early. Regular inspection helps in early detection of potential problems such as the blockages or corrosion. If anything occurs, next step is the repair or even regular maintenance. So, repairs, number 1 is to address the damage promptly. In case of any damage that has occurred, maybe to the ties or leaves or insulation, it should be repaired promptly to maintain the wall's structural integrity and thermal performance. Maintain insulation integrity. This ensures that the repairs do not compromise the insulation's effectiveness or the wall's overall performance. Next is the partition walls. As far as the partition walls are concerned, we have already discussed that they are non-load bearing walls. They are constructed so as to divide the spaces within a building into separate rooms or areas. They are designed to support their own weight only, and in some cases some small amount of loads such as that the fixtures etc., may be likely to be borne by them. The requirements of partition walls are number 1, strength. The strength of the partition wall, by this it refers the ability to support its own weight and any additional load that might be applied, because these are the non load bearing walls. So, no external wall loading will be there. The partition walls must be strong enough to support their own weight and any minor loads that may occur. Next is the impact resistance. The impact resistance is the partition wall's ability to withstand physical impacts like that of bumps or knocks that occur during normal building activities. The decorative surface support. The decorative surface support involves the wall's ability to hold and support the various finishes the plaster, the paint or tiles. The partition walls must support the finishes just discussed like the plaster, paints or tiles. The stability. By stability of the partition wall, it is referred to the partition's ability to maintain its position and support the lightweight fixtures. So, the partition walls should be stable and should be capable of supporting the lightweight fixtures. The lightweight and thin. Lightweight and thin refers to the partition walls construction being as minimal in mass and thickness as possible while still meeting other requirements. So, the partition walls should be as light and thin as possible to maximize both, that is the usable floor space and minimize the structural loading. Sound insulation. Sound insulation is the partition wall's ability to prevent the sound from passing between the rooms. Effective sound insulation enhances the privacy and also the comfort by reducing the noise that transfers between the different areas of a building. The partition walls should act as a sound barrier between the different rooms. Next is the fire resistance. Fire resistance is the partition wall's ability to resist the spread of fire and also maintain the structural integrity in case any fire occur. So, it is very much expected that the partition walls must provide resistance to fire and it becomes more prominent and significant, especially in the case of the multi-story buildings. The types of partition walls. Number one is the brick partitions. The brick partitions, if it is done, number one is the cost effectiveness. Generally more affordable as compared to other materials due to the widespread availability of bricks and mortar. So, if the partition walls are made by the bricks, it becomes very easy so far as the availability of the materials is concerned. Second is the strength. The brick partition walls, they are mostly provide substantial structural integrity and durability. The types, the plain brick partitions, these are made from standard bricks and mortar. It is suitable for general use where high strength is needed. Another one is the reinforced brick partitions. It incorporates reinforcements such as steel bars or mesh to enhance the strength and stability. It is used in load bearing situations or where additional support is required. Next is the nogging brick partitions. The features of framework, that is nogging of timber or metal that is filled with the bricks, often used to combine the structural benefits of both the materials. The clay brick partitions. Materials types use a solid clay blocks. It is made from compacted clay, offering high compressive strength and good insulation properties. Next is the hollow clay blocks. It include internal voids to reduce the weight and improve the insulation. It is often used in situations where thermal and acoustic insulation is important. Next is the thermal insulation. Good thermal resistance, it helps to maintain consistent interior temperatures. The sound insulation, these blocks provide effective sound attenuations, making it suitable for spaces requiring privacy or noise control. The concrete partitions, the casting methods, there can be two casting methods, one is the cast in situ and the precast. As far as the cast in situ is concerned, the concrete is poured and set in place within the forms on site, allowing for custom shapes and sizes. It offers high strength and monolithic characteristics. The second type is the precast. The concrete panels or blocks are manufactured off site and then transported and assembled at the construction location. This method speed up construction and ensures consistent quality. The strength and stability, the concrete partitions are definitely robust, fire resistant and provide excellent load bearing capacity. Glass partitions. So far as the materials in this are concerned, number one is glass sheets, number two is the glass box. As far as the glass sheets are concerned, large panes of glass are used for transparent and modern partitioning, allowing the natural light to flow and enhancing the visibility. Second is the glass blocks, hollow blocks made from glass that provide privacy while still allowing light to pass through. The lightweight, as compared to solid materials like the concrete or bricks, glass is lighter and can create a sense of openness. Next is transparency. It offers a contemporary look and maintains visual connections between the spaces while providing acoustic separation. The metal lath partitions, as far construction part is concerned, it has metal lath and plaster. In metal lath, a framework of metal mesh or lath is used as a base for plaster applications. The metal lath provides support and adherence for the plaster. The applied over the metal lath to create a finished surface, providing a smooth and durable finish. Durability. The metal lath partitions are strong and resistance have good resistance to damage, making them suitable for high traffic areas. The fire resistance, these offer good fire resistance, contributing to safety in buildings. The asbestos sheet or GI partitions, as far as the asbestos sheets are concerned, economical, they are very economical and cost effective. As far as the health concern is there, it is less common today because of the serious health risks associated with the inhalation of asbestos fibers, which can cause respiratory diseases. The GI sheets, also called as the galvanized iron sheets, they are lightweight. These sheets are lightweight and easy to install. As far as durability is concerned, it provides good resistance to corrosion, weathering, making it suitable for various environmental conditions. Economy, an affordable option for partitioning, although less commonly used in modern construction due to aesthetics and insulation limitations. The plaster slab partitions, as far as the material is concerned, is made from plaster, which can be a mixture of gypsum, lime or cement. Lightweight, these plaster slabs are relatively light as compared to the concrete or brick partitions, making them easier to handle and install. So, for insulation is concerned, it provides good thermal insulation due to the nature of the plaster, which helps in maintaining consistent temperature within the building. Ease of installation, it becomes very easy to install, often coming in pre-made panels that can be quickly mounted on the place. So, far as finish is concerned, these typically provide a smooth surface that can be painted or finished to match the interiors. And the applications, it is suitable for non-load bearing partitions and interior applications where a lightweight solution is beneficial. Wood wool slab partitions, in this the materials are wood fibers, the cement and the sound insulations. These are made from mixture of wood fibers which are bonded with cement or other binding materials. The cement acts as a binder to hold the wood fibers together, enhancing the durability and strength. And as far as the insulation is concerned, it is excellent sound insulation properties because of the porous and fibrous nature of the materials, making it ideal for any acoustical separations. They are lightweight. Wood wools are lighter than the traditional concrete slab and simple in handling installation. Thermal insulations are concerned, it has a good thermal insulation contributing to energy efficiency by reducing heat loss or gain. And timber partitions, materials are using the wooden framework or panels and offer incorporating various types of wood such as softwood or hardwood. The traditional aesthetics, it provides traditional aesthetics, warm appearance is pleasing and often used in historical or rustic designs. As far as the cost is concerned, it can be more expensive because of the cost of high quality wood and labor. As far as the insulation is concerned, it offers decent thermal and sound insulation, but may require additional materials to meet the modern building standards. The sustainability of the wood is renewable source, but sourcing practices need to sustainable to minimize the environmental impact. So, with this we come to an end of this session, in which we have studied about the different types of the walls, their materials and uses, and understanding the aspects is very essential for efficient and effective building construction. Thank you.